Never before has immunity been on the forefront of so many people's minds, and our gastrointestinal health is connected to how well our immune system functions. So in this video, I'm going to give you tips on how you can improve your immune system via your gastrointestinal health. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sam Brown and I'm a BANT registered nutritionist here in the UK. The gut and its trillions of bacteria that live inside there provide us with a host of health benefits, from production of nutrients to detoxification and also digestion. It's become known that a disruption within this bacteria can cause a dysregulation in the immune system. So what disrupts our gut microbiome? Well, this would be something classed as a Western diet. So high in saturated fats, not particularly the healthy ones, high in sugars, high in processed foods. They are energy dense and they have a poor nutritional value. In a review of the current evidence, the additives within these foods cause us to be in a state of inflammation because they change our microbiome. And even outside of the processed foods, if you're eating high saturated fats that generally are not always the healthiest versions, high sugar, very simple sugar type foods, this also has the same effect and pushes us towards inflammation. It also reduces the ability to regulate the lining of the gut, which again can push towards autoimmune conditions and more inflammation. So here are 5 things that you can do to boost your immune system via helping your gut be the healthiest that it can be. Number 1, eat a diverse range of foods. So when we look at the Western diet, really, there's not many foods that people eat. They tend to be creatures of habit and eat the same things over and over again. So there are hundreds of species of bacteria within your gut, and they all like different foods. So if you can think about eating a rainbow of colours, eating lots of different types of fruit and vegetables and fish and nuts and seeds, and just keeping it really, really diverse. And of course, then it becomes super interesting as well. Number 2, increase your fibre. So fibre is something that not always we can digest, and the bacteria do that for us. And in return, they give us some nutrients that we can use in the body that are super helpful. High fibre foods such as artichokes, vegetables, beans, lentils, even whole grain versions of food. I know that some people out there really struggle with grains, but if you don't and you can switch to the whole grain version, you are going to up that fibre and feed your bacteria. Number 3, eat fermented foods. Now this might be a new one for some people, but fermented foods have been around for centuries. Basically, the microbes within these fermented foods use the sugar and produce some nice friendly bacteria that we can eat, and they help colonize our gut. Now the best thing is these days there are some of these options in our local supermarkets, but whatever you do and wherever you buy it from, you must make sure that it is raw and unpasteurized. As soon as something is pasteurized, it destroys the bacteria and the health benefits have disappeared. Some good ideas for fermented foods. Number 1 is yogurt. It's probably the one that most of us have access to. It does need to be a completely natural yogurt though, no flavourings, of course, because of that sugar that we just don't want in our diet. Also, Kefir, which is kind of like a yogurt drink. You'll see them in the supermarkets, there's some popular brands out there, but a little one of those every morning can help pop some of those friendly bacteria in our gut. Another good one is sauerkraut or kimchi. So sauerkraut is generally a European version of kimchi. These are just fermented vegetables. Sauerkraut tends to be cabbage and kimchi can be a little bit of everything, but both of them are a really lovely addition to your meal, and you can just pop some on the side. Kombucha is a good alternative to your fizzy drinks and your fizzy sugary drinks. It has a really good dose of friendly bacteria, and it's nice as well if you're trying to avoid some alcohol to pop it in a wine glass and chuck some ice in it. Just delicious. Tempeh is another good one that you can pick up in the supermarkets these days. And again, it's just a fermented soya. Number 4, eating whole grains. So if you eat bread, rice, pasta, any of those kind of things, oats, make sure that they are whole grains. They contain much more fibre, which, as we already know, the bacteria absolutely love. Number 5, eat foods that are rich in polyphenols. So polyphenols is just a fancy word for plant compounds, And these are things that the plant actually uses to protect itself, but they also have some really excellent health benefits for us. So these foods tend to be really rich in colour and normally quite dark. So red wine, dark chocolate, blueberries, blackberries, they're all really rich in polyphenols, but also garlic and onions, they tend to be high in polyphenols. And again, if you're just eating a good diverse range of food, you're going to be picking these up anyway, but they're really great for lowering inflammation in the body. And as we know, inflammation and immune system can really run together. So when we reduce one, we're helping out the other. So by reducing your processed foods and your saturated fats, your simple sugars, increasing the diversity of foods that you eat to include lots of colours, and just think of the rainbow every time that you eat, you will help your gut and these friendly bacteria, and in that case, you will then give your immune system a much needed boost. If you've liked the information in this video, don't forget to subscribe and give me a nice big like, and I shall see you next week.